Imagine waking up every morning knowing that your properties are generating over 10,000 euros per month without you having to work a traditional job. Sounds impossible? It's not. With the right strategy, real estate can provide financial freedom and a steady stream of passive income. In this video, I will show you exactly how to build a real estate portfolio that generates 10,000 euros per month. We will cover the types of properties to invest in, how to structure your financing, and how to scale your portfolio to achieve true financial independence. If you want to escape the 9-to-5 and build long-term wealth through real estate, stay tuned. This could be your roadmap to success. So let's get started with the first property. So let's assume you buy a property with a rental income of 1,000 euros per month. This is property one, so the first property. 1,000 euros per month in rental income. And now let's assume you have 1,100 euros per month in costs. Here is everything included. So mortgage is included, maintenance is included, and also the management of the property is included, so you don't have to deal with any tenants yourself. So now you invest 100 euros out of your own pocket. Okay, this is property one. After 3 years, it's allowed to increase the rent by 15 to 20%. This is German law. So let's make it easy. You only have 1,100 euros rent. You still have 1,100 euros in costs. So you don't pay anything out of your own pocket anymore. Okay? So now on average, it depends on how fast you repay the loan, but on average it takes maybe 27 years. Depends a bit on how fast you want to repay, how many properties you would like to buy. So we know after 27 years, we know that you have a passive income of 1,100 euros because you don't have the mortgage. Maybe you have some maintenance, some management. So let's say you have 1,000 euros per month after costs, even if the rent is not growing. Okay, so let's assume, to make it easy, we just have 1,000 euros net income per property when it's paid off. It's actually more because after another 3 years, you can increase the rent again. But let's calculate conservatively. Let's say the costs are also growing, like I said, just conservatively. So if you know you only need to invest 100 euros per month and maybe 20,000 euros initially to buy such a property for land transfer tax and notary, well, then we know we have to do a few things. We need to invest 100 times 10. Let's do it like this. Or let's make it here. We have 100 euros over 12 months, over 3 years. So 3,600 that you invest for the first property out of your own pocket. Plus you invest 20,000 euros to buy the property initially for land transfer tax and notary. So we need to invest 23,600 in total for one property after the rent fully covers all your expenses. So if we know that, then you can just do it as often as you can. And let's say we plan to buy 10 properties over the next 10 years. Because if you have 10 times 1,000 euros income, then you would generate 10,000 euros in passive income, even if we calculate conservatively. So what do you do now? We just know we need 3,600 over 3 years. So one example could be that you buy one property every 3 years. This would be a pretty conservative approach. And then it's really difficult because you also need to pay off the mortgage. So it's really important to buy as many properties as possible, as early as possible. So we know we have 23,600 costs per property. So we know that we need to invest 236,000 euros in total. This is money that needs to be saved up ASAP. To buy 10 properties. Okay, so we just do it again and again to buy multiple apartments. So let's assume we have the 27 years. We need 10 years to build up the real estate portfolio. Then the last property is paid off after 37 years if you don't do it earlier. If you do unscheduled repayment, that you say, okay, there is some money left at the end of the year. So let's plan it practically. We know we need to save 20,000 euros a year. Okay, because 100 euros for 3 years, this is something you can probably afford, so we don't have to plan that much. So we know we need 20,000 euros per year. So let's make it easy. You and maybe your partner together, you save 2,000 euros a month, particularly for real estate. And maybe you have even more budget to buy more properties or to pay them off sooner. This depends on your income, obviously, and your budget.
Yeah.
So you save 2,000 euros per month as an example. And this is also calculated conservatively. It's also manageable with maybe 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 per month. So you always save that equity up in 1 year. So you actually can buy one property every year. And you only need to invest 100 euros per month over 3 years until the rental income covers all your expenses. And the 100 euros also might be less here, because if your rent is higher or your costs are lower or maybe interest rates reduce at some point, then the equation is obviously even better. But even if we calculate conservatively that you need to invest 100 euros out of your own pocket, it still makes sense. It still makes sense. So if you can save 2,000 euros per month, so let's say 20,000 euros a year, just to make it easy, you can buy one property every year. You do it over the next 10 years. So we just need to find properties which have a good rent to purchase price ratio. So we only have maybe 100 euros out of your own pocket, which obviously speeds up your wealth building if you have more budget to save for further property investments. So now we do it over 10 years. So we have 10 years, 10 apartments. So the last apartment, if we also calculate conservatively, your income is not growing, your rental income is not growing, you don't have more budget, then after 37 years, all the properties would be paid off, and you would have significantly more than 10,000 euros per month. But let's say you would have 10,000 euros per month as passive income, because you would receive 1,000 euros rental income per apartment. And if that's the deal, then you need to save 20,000 euros every year. So you invest maybe 200,000 over 10 years to have a passive income for your whole life of 10,000 euros per month. And actually your children would also inherit all these apartments. So simultaneously you save money for your children. So eventually you build up generational wealth. So if that's the case, and you can generate such a passive income in a really conservative scenario, because rental income is not growing, you don't have more budget, even in that case, you would have 10,000 euros here, and you would be on the safe side. So let's talk about property types. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if you buy newly built, if you buy existing property, at least from this perspective. It's only important that you have a good ratio when it comes to rent in comparison to the purchase price. So the calculation, the math actually makes sense. You maybe have only a small contribution, maybe no contribution at all. This depends on so many factors. But if you have a good ratio, let's do it correctly. And you have maybe only 100 euros per month own contribution, or let's say 120 or 130, it doesn't matter. Then we are on the safe side, so you can actually build up that real estate portfolio, and the bank doesn't have any issues giving you more mortgage. This is regarding property types. Regarding financing, it's always the case, most crucial thing when it comes to future mortgage is what is the ratio here? Okay, so it makes sense that you have a certain financing with a low repayment rate to protect your cash flow, because your cash flow should be protected. And this is something we can manage with proper financing. So if you have a good model and a good strategy behind that, then you can easily buy multiple apartments in future. I explained that in a different video. You can just look at that one where I explain how you can receive multiple loans and how a bank assesses that. This is for ratio. This is for financing. So then you only need, let's say, good properties. Because if you have good property, then you can increase rents. You don't have issues regarding any bigger renovations, which would obviously affect your wealth building. So with peace of mind, you can just save enough money to build up the equity capital. And always, if you hit another 20,000 euros in savings, you should actually, in my opinion, consider buying another property. Because like I said, the earlier you do that, the earlier you achieve that financial independence. Okay? And if you now tell me that or tell yourself that you have a higher budget of 2,000 euros, then you could obviously buy more apartments. You could invest some money in the stock market, for example, because then you can reduce this time here. Because it might be the case that you say, well, 37 years, and I'm pretty old already, I would like to achieve that earlier. Yeah, of course, this is only real estate. But what you could do is that if you say you have a higher budget of, let's say, or more than 2,000 euros, you invest 2,000 euros in real estate. Maybe you have 4,000 euros budget because your partner's also working. So you have 2,000 euros budget, your partner has 2,000 euros budget. This goes into real estate, this goes into the stock market. So what you could do, for example, is, well, you have two options. One option would be you save that money over 15, 20 years. After 20 years, you close all the mortgages. This would be one option. So you generate interest on that money, you build up wealth, and then after 20 years, for example, you close all the mortgages and then you're financially independent. Okay, this would be one option. Another option would be the other way around. You sell all your properties. If you have 10 apartments with a value of 200,000 euros each, you have 2 million. Then you sell all the properties tax-free, take 2 million, invest them in the stock market, for example, generate 7% on 2 million. So you would also have a passive income of 10K per month at least. So both options are possible. Probably it's going to be a mix of both. This is something that depends on your personality. Is liquidity more important, or real estate offers higher profits in comparison? But at some point, if you say, okay, now I want to achieve my goal of financial independence, of enough passive income, so you're independent and you don't have to work anymore, then you can structure it properly. And then we have to look at the property values. We have to look at the stock market, and then we can make an informed decision. But in the first place, it's about building as much wealth as possible, so you are in the position later to actually achieve that goal, that you have 10K of passive income. And with 10K passive income, you're definitely financially free. Okay, maybe you don't have like luxury lifestyle, but you're definitely financially free and you don't have to work anymore, and you can just enjoy maybe some other tasks you really love to do. Okay, so there you have it. The exact steps to making 10,000 euros per month in passive income through real estate. By investing in the right properties, using smart financing strategies, and scaling your portfolio, you can create a stable cash flow and long-term financial security. But remember, success in real estate requires action. The earlier you start, the sooner you can reach financial freedom. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more real estate investing strategies. And let me know in the comments, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to building passive income through real estate? Thanks for watching, and remember, real estate is one key to financial freedom. The only question is when you will start. See you in the next video.